Grand Rising awakened beings, thank you for tuning into this channel, tuning into this video. Here I just deliver channeled messages from the divine to help you heal and progress along your journey and tap into your highest and best self. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stay tuned for the video and see if there's any messages that align with what you're needing to hear or know, or something to help you along your journey. So this video is going to be spirit guide messages. If you've been feeling like a spirit guide has been trying to connect with you, deliver a message for you, if you've been tuning into synchronicities or having dreams and you're not sure what they mean, I'm going to open it up for messages to come through, and hopefully this aligns with and you are able to resonate and receive something out of these messages that can support you. All right, so let's tune in. All right, what have you been trying to tell them? What have you been trying to tell them? I'm seeing a circle of water with bricks around it. It's kind of like, the closest I could say is kind of like either a resort or like some sort of deserted, not deserted, but like a natural landmark area. So like you can go to this place on Earth and there's like a pool of water. It's like a little, it kind of feels like a hot tub or a hot spring, but it feels like natural. So I'm being shown that. All right. Natural as in not man-made. And somebody's relaxing in it. What are you trying to tell them? This person kind of feels like, I mean, they're relaxing, but it feels like maybe there's something about work. I don't know if it's like work stress. Yeah, something about the shoulders as well. So like they're in the hot tub or this area, and they're in the water. They're submerged all the way up to their chest, but their shoulders are kind of like resting on the rocks. So it's kind of, yeah, they're relaxing, their head's back, but there's emphasis on the shoulders. And in their mind, I feel like they're kind of like releasing from work or relaxing from work. Something is stressful to them. All right, keep going, please. Whoa. Oops. Okay, so right away, yeah, I feel like somebody here could use a vacation, or they're coming off a vacation, planning one. Some time away from their normal life, their everyday life. And I feel like it would be helpful so like sometimes people will plan like a staycation where it's like, okay, I'm just gonna take time off of work, but I'm not really gonna do anything. I'm just gonna be indoors and, do more self-care stuff. I really feel like it'll be helpful for you to remove yourself from your normal environment. So travel actually somewhere to a different location. Okay. Even just for like an hour or two. And this location should be at least like 45 minutes away. They really want you like out of your city or out of your space. Yeah. They want you into a different area. All right, keep going, please. Whoa. I'm just going to draw from 2 more decks and then we'll get going. Okay, they're showing me food now, and chopsticks. Oh, keep going. So I feel like you might be needing to get out of your comfort zone. They're wanting you to stretch your comfort zone, experience a different culture, or maybe try a different food or a different way of eating or something like that. Because, yeah, somebody told me that when you eat with chopsticks, it like activates your brain more or something like that. So I don't think the message is necessarily about eating food with chopsticks, but it's more so like doing things differently, trying something different, learning something different, so that you can add that new knowledge into your everyday life. Okay? Keep going. Yeah, it feels like your growth might be stagnant a little bit because of things are starting to get mundane and more routine. Okay? Okay, here we go. Okay, let's get into the first thing here. So there's 3 messages I'm going to tune into aside from that intuitive channeling. All right, let's see what we've got. We got the High Priestess. All right. I do feel like so the time of me recording this is definitely influencing this reading with the High Priestess coming through, because I feel like so the time I'm recording this is actually kind of close to Dia de los Muertos, or Halloween, if that's more what you resonate with. But it's definitely the time where the veil is thinning, and so you might feel a little bit more intuitive. And like I said, this reading is for those who are feeling like there's some sort of message coming through, or that they just need to tune in to spirit, or like that. So with the High Priestess coming through, I definitely feel like this is confirmation from what you're experiencing. We do have the number 2, and we have 1 and 1. So those could be 2 numbers that resonate with you, or things that you're seeing. But immediately I was drawn to the candles here. So I do feel like candle work would be very important for you at this time, whether you want to acknowledge somebody or if you want to release some things. I definitely feel like candles can kind of help you tune in to the energy of the High Priestess, because if you utilize different colors of the candle, it can kind of help with move things along, right? Okay, so the energy of fire is destructive, okay? Honestly, it helps to heal and destroy, but ultimately it burns. It can burn through things, right? So if you're utilizing candle work as burning and lighting a path, and you incorporate that with colors, it really can accentuate, like, if you use white, that can help you if you feel like need to feel more protected or feel more luminous. Green, if you want to bring in a little bit more finances or break through, especially the fire with the green, if you want to break through any blockages financially. So I'm hearing a message of like, take charge a little bit, because it's like you have these intuitive feelings and like things in the dream world or in your they're showing me the hands, so they want me to, I don't know if I'm speaking to like a potential Reiki master, or somebody interested in Reiki, or somebody intuitively leaning into palmistry or something like that, but they're showing me the hands, right? And so if you're learning palmistry or have an inclination towards it, I'm not sure if I used that word correctly, the right hand is the action 3D hand, the left hand, or actually I should use dominant. Your dominant hand is your action 3D hand, and your non-dominant, usually for most people, is the left hand. That's your more intuitive hand. So anyways, they're showing me that in your non-dominant hand, which is the more intuitive, ancestral, behind the scenes, spiritual side, keep going. Oh, that you have like these dreams or these desires or these signals, something coming through on that side, and you're trying to transfer it into the 3D, into your actual world, right? And so going back to the candles, where it's like, okay, if you light, your intention, or bring that dream and speak it out loud and put it like into something real in the 3D, you're kind of transferring it out of your mind into the 3D. So like another example of that is like, this is just completely unrelated. If you wanted to scripting is a good example. If you wanted to change your something in your reality, like you want to lose weight or something, you can open up a journal and write down that intention, put pen to paper, and really like layer it out. And so that's you getting something out of your mind using materials to put it into the 3D. So I hope this is making sense, because this is high level messages, all right? But ultimately what they're trying to say to you is there's something in the intuitive realm, the passive dream state, that you need to transfer over into the material, and you need to use materials to do that. Okay, I hope that makes sense, man. Okay, anyway, we got transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Definitely got that. What else? We got Luna. Okay, yeah. You're tuned in. Divine guidance. Please don't question yourself. Divine timing. The divine brings things in the timing that we need. Nothing comes before we're prepared, nor leaves too early. May I always trust your perfect and holy timing, dear Lord. Let me just take a second to see if I'm picking up on anything else. This feels like it's mostly about, so like, remember I was talking about this mundane routine thing, and they're wanting you to expand and kind of explore something different to kind of help with your progress and your development, and just to kind of move on. They want you to move on, and it seems like you're doing that, but it could be that what they're saying is something that can help the process is if you just materialize your desires or your wants, your dreams, your thoughts, materialize it into 3D. Either write it down, speak it out into existence. You can affirm it with affirmations, like, if you don't want to do the whole candle thing, whatever. But there's many ways that you can do this, and the ultimate message that I'm getting here is that you're being guided to something bigger and better, and it's taking you to put a little bit of action into it. Okay. All right, let's move on. Queen of Swords. Okay, this is taking you to open up your awareness. Queen of Swords. Okay, hold on. There's a lot here. So the Queen of Swords is the master of words. She knows when to speak. She knows when to be silent. And if you look here, so there's the wolf, which are very intelligent, and she's also got a piece of paper here. So I was just talking about scripting, all right? That's where you write things down. You can write down affirmations. You can, write down your goals or whatever. But there's this message of bringing your thoughts out, okay? So I just said that already. So let me see what else is here. The other thing is about, like I said, expanding your awareness. So I feel like at this time it could be, it's already important for you to speak and kind of get through your thoughts, acknowledge your thoughts, process them, and all of that. It could also be important in your career for you to share your thoughts as well, share your voice. So that could be another thing that's important. But the last thing here is something about gaining more knowledge. So being open to either more perspectives or just more knowledge that can help you progress along your journey or share more or something like that. So be open to knowledge, and also just kind of have a balance with your words and your thoughts. Because not every thought needs to be said or acknowledged, because they're not always the best. but there's some things that do need to be spoken, communicated, and come out. Okay, so there, the Queen of Swords is talking about between a balance between that. You shouldn't be over talking and you shouldn't be under talking. Okay, the same with thinking. Overthinking cannot be the best, and underthinking cannot be the best, because then that can indicate, a lack of aspirations or things like that. So I just feel like the Queen of Swords is really coming through of talking about expanding knowledge, but also scripting, communicating, and really just kind of bringing things into 3D. Okay, so that kind of emphasized the last message. What else we got? We got you're already doing, stop overthinking, which is something I just talked about. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. Lead, you go first, the universe will catch you. I just said that as well. Like, there's something that you need to communicate. It could have to do with work, that's what I said, but it doesn't always have to. It could be like, acknowledging a relationship or acknowledging somebody. Hold on, there's a message coming through of there could be somebody that you're going to cross paths with that is going to need your either advice or just for you to even acknowledge them. Okay, so if you're walking, with your head down throughout life and just kind of going from point A to point B, worrying about your own life and your journey, I'm hearing Spirit is kind of saying, like, no, you're going to need to interact with somebody that really needs you to, like, see them or hear them. Okay. And so normally that comes in the form of, like, if there's somebody, unhoused, it doesn't have to be that situation, but I'm just saying an example could be somebody who's unhoused and they're just like, hey, I'm really experiencing this, can you da 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 da, and you're probably like the only person to acknowledge them that day or really help them get what they need or something. So that can be an example, unrelated, but I'm just saying there's somebody who's going to need either your advice, your support, for you to acknowledge them, or even just if you just greet them, that might even be enough. To kind of help them or save them with what they're experiencing. Okay, so that's a side message for somebody. But anyway, so with this, you go first, the universe will catch you. I definitely feel like this has to do with it's something about, hold on. On one hand, there's something about business, and then on the other hand, I'm being drawn to the moon, and that we have the high priestess, and we also had Luna. Was that the card No, we had Luna on the other one. But so you got two cards that emphasize the moon. So I wonder if your work involves something around femininity. Like, I don't know if you're working with women, supporting women, or if you are just kind of tuned into gentleness, nurturing, or something like that. Or so for some of you, this is for those of you whose work or life's purpose involves uplifting women, or something in that way, or speaking for, advocating for, or something like that. That's what the moon is telling me. There's also something about leading what? Leading like a mindset shift. Okay. This is coming through with this wisdom card that I just kind of peeked at. But the wisdom card, the octopuses are very intelligent. Octopuses, I think it's octopusi, I think. Anyway, they're very intelligent beings. And the card here is wisdom. You got an eye there. And so, again, earlier I was talking about expanding perspective or gaining wisdom or tuning into, the Queen of Swords energy. She is also very intelligent. So I definitely feel like this is about, kind of taking a risk, and disclaimer, you are completely in control of your life. You make your own decisions. But anyways, I feel like there's some sort of information, idea that would be helpful, or kind of you could lead a mindset shift. This could also have to do with personal experience where, you might have had a poor mindset or something like that, and then you kind of improved it. And so you're like, okay, how can I help others navigate through that? So I definitely feel like you have some sort of knowledge that can lead a mindset shift, and you might need a little bit more information on how to do that. Okay, so it might take a little bit of research or observing others, something like that, or maybe learning from other cultures. Okay, the last card here is solitude. It says, once you embrace the inner divine and your own sacred solitude, the right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or chasing. Okay, what are you saying with this, Spirit? Honestly, they're kind of showing me the person relaxing again in like the spring area, hot springs or something, and it just kind of feels like they're able to hear their own voice because they're not surrounded by a bunch of people. There's not even, and like I said, it's like a natural hot spring, so like it's somewhere outside and not man-made. And so really, I just kind of hear like bird noises and like nature noises. There aren't like people talking, or there's literally like nobody around. Okay. So anyway, so they're showing me that, and so I really just feel like if you just kind of hermit for a little bit and kind of take a break, also, yeah, taking a break from social media, put the phone down, put it down, put the phone down, put the computer down, okay, or tablet, whatever else you got, I'm hearing, put that down. And even if you play like instrumentals, tone that down. They're really wanting like just straight up nature, or as much silence as you can muster for this, because it allows you to kind of hear your own thoughts and be with yourself. So I hear that coming through, and it's more about having an inner wisdom. So it's like you're able to hear your inner wisdom, and whatever this is saying as well, if you kind of tune those things down, you're not hearing other people's opinions all the time. And there's also a message of creating space from people who need you. And what that means is, if you have like an obligation to others or a responsibility, like maybe you're a parent, or maybe your job is, taking care of a bunch of people at one time, managing a bunch of people, something like that. If you're always like interacting with others, whether it's on social media or in person, this break, or, utilizing solitude is really going to be important, because it kind of like is a way for you to call back your power. So if you've got all your energy kind of stretched out to and connected to all these different people and all these different things, then your energy source is kind of getting depleted. And so I definitely feel like kind of turning off sound and kind of saluting, getting into solitude, you're calling your power back, you're restoring it. Okay. So that came through. Let's see. Here we go for the last message. Six of Cups. Six of Cups is coming through right now. They're saying something about a version of you. Let me see what's going on. Positivity. If you can find even one thing to be grateful for, it will restore you to the light. Please, dear God, let me always feel gratitude for something, even a tiny thing, and even the hardest situations. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Navigation. Okay, I'm going to deliver another high frequency message, all right? This really feels like divine plan to me. The Six of Cups with the whole mirror and the person in there, it really just kind of feels like past versions of self. But then with the Keeper of the Earth here, it says you are not alone, and ancient ancestors stand beside you. So it kind of feels like you're walking a path that you're intended to walk. It also kind of feels like, I don't know if this is going to resonate with everybody, but sometimes when people, like, people can be born into a family, and that family has like a way of living and doing things, but there's this child that is born, and then they grow up and they're just a lot different than their family. Like, it's almost like they've been here before, they came on a mission, and they're just different, they're more awake, and they kind of step out to create their own path, and they don't fall into the patterns that were done before them. So, like, example, if the family has like a lack mindset and they're working paycheck to paycheck, if the family, is stuck in eating foods that are unhealthy because of conditioning of culture or something like that, and or whatever. So this person could be awakened and have new ways of doing things that are healthier and or just more mindful, intentional, and have knowledge that can shift the mindsets of their generation and the generations after them. Okay, and so normally they call those people, what the heck do they call those people? I don't remember. Somebody can drop it in the comments. But anyways, this is the energy that I'm getting. Okay, so it really feels like, hey, you might feel like you're alone, and that you're different, and that it's hard to connect with others. But it's really just because you have your own mission that you're here to do. Like, you're not here to fit in. You're not here to be the past. You're here to progress and keep moving forward. So we got this navigation here, and I feel like part of your purpose or your mission is to spread positivity. Like, this is the card that you got. So whatever idea you have, whatever you're supposed to communicate or support somebody with or something like that, it just feels like your energy is light. You speak optimistically perhaps, and the world like needs that. Okay, so yeah, the Six of Cups is giving like share love with yourself, for one, staying connected with love, but also I feel like kind of focusing on supporting the younger generation perhaps, because in the typical if I'm thinking of the correct card, in the typical Six of Cups, sometimes there is like a person handing a cup to a child. And so I definitely feel like that's basically saying like, hey, you have the knowledge to support the younger generation and help. What did I say earlier? Mindset change, y'all. Mindset change. Positivity. Okay, if you can find even one thing to be grateful for, it will restore you to the light. Please, dear God, let me always feel gratitude for something, even a tiny thing, in even the hardest situations. Okay, so, for you yourself, you might need that message to kind of support you through something that you're going through. And this could just be a message reminding you like, hey, no, you have the power of your gratitude, of your voice, of your knowledge of how to get through this. You know what you're doing. So this message could be for you in that way, but it also could be like, hey, remember your purpose, remember your power, and that you can shift the minds of the generations following you. So that's pretty big. I feel like doing one more message here. Can we do one more message here? What are you trying to communicate with them? What needs to be heard? They're kind of clarifying or kind of honing in on like, if you have some idea that you think is stupid, it is not stupid. It's not. Okay? Three of Wands and Ten of Cups. Okay, first of all, Ten of Cups. This Ten of Cups is ultimate fulfillment. having everything that you need, and just feeling complete joy, gratitude, and spreading that. Like, look, this person's at the center, they're holding these lights and everybody's crowding around them and they're in awe. It's like this person is showing other people how to be happy, how to be grateful, how to like have the things that they desire as well. So there's definitely this energy of like sharing, giving, okay, especially for people, Five of Cups, people who are mourning, people who are grieving, people who don't know where their light is or where to find it. Okay, and so I'm getting this message of comedy as well. So like the reason I feel like there's a side of TikTok that is people just being silly or saying silly stuff. Like literally a video could be of anything and you go to the comments and people are making jokes, right? And so, but people need that to just giggle at that. So I definitely feel like the TikTok isn't a specific message to you. It's just an example saying like people need to feel light. They need to feel happiness. They need to have something to look forward to or be grateful for. And so I definitely feel like you have the ability to spread that or share that, show that. Okay, so literally whatever idea you have, it is not stupid. Okay, but also remembering too, really quickly though, remembering that one, you need to make sure that you're filling your cup back up, restoring your energy. You did have the Ace of Cups right here too that I saw. Okay, so just a quick reminder, make sure that you're filling your cup back up and that you're not pouring from an empty cup, but also that you're being open to explore so that you can be a little bit more creative in how you go about doing this. All right. So following your ideas, Queen of Swords. And also the last card here is Three of Wands. Three of Wands is, I love the progression because the first wand is like, hey, I got this idea. Not necessarily idea, but it's more passion because that's what Wands is, right? So I've got something that I desire. Two of Wands. All right, I'm following that. How do I get there? Three of Wands. Straight up vision. You can see it. This thing is visible, all right? And so when you can see something, it's easier to start walking towards it, all right? With the Two of Wands, you might be walking a little bit more blindly, like you might have a few steps down and then it's kind of like what happens next. Three of Wands, no, you've got the vision, you can see it. The light is pouring out of this tree, this structure. And I also feel like there's a message of, there's this phrase, stand on the shoulders of giants, and it basically means that ideas are meant to be built on top of each other. And then there's also this book I have. It's called Steal Like an Artist. I haven't read it, but it was a gift to me. But basically, these are saying that ideas are like shared. So like you don't want to steal someone's intellectual property, right? No, but you can be inspired by it. So that's just a message that came through for some reason. Hope it resonates with whoever it needs to resonate with. But it's okay to be inspired. But, you know, give credit where it's due wherever you can, but it's okay to be inspired. But ultimately, you know, things start as an idea, start as a desire, and you can, going back to the first message of like bring that down into the 3D, like speak it into existence. What do you need to do to start mapping it out to get there to where you can see the vision? Once you see the vision, you can walk towards it. All right, so I don't know. That's what I got for you. Hope it resonates. Let me know. Comment down below. Thanks for tuning in and blessings to you. Take care. Ashe, ashe.